Hi, it's Nagas here, and in this tutorial we're going to create an iOS app with a slider. Now the default value is set to the middle. The first third is going to be red, the middle third is going to be orange, and the final third is going to be green. So it's going to be our little traffic light. So red, orange, and then green. Okay, so let's start creating the project. I'm going to quit the simulator and I'm going to create a new project. So File, New Project. It's an iOS application and it's single view. So next, I'm going to call it Traffic Light. The organization name is Bermotech and the company identifier, I'm going to call it MB. There is no prefix, and for the devices, I'm going to select iPhone from the list. Now you can have a prefix if you want to have a prefix before your class name, but I will leave it blank. So next, I'm going to save it on the desktop. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the main.storyboard file. So that will bring the storyboard up for me. And I want the default background color to be orange. So I click on the view, I go to the attribute inspector here, and from the background I will select orange. So my background color is now orange. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a label and a slider to my storyboard, to my screen. So you can see with the slider here that it has a minimum and a maximum value. So the minimum value is 0 and the maximum value is 1, but you can change it to anything. So I could potentially make this 100 or 1000 even. Okay, but I'll change it back to 1. And 0.5 here is the current value, so I could change that to say 0.3, it will slide to the left, or 0.9, it will slide to the right, but I will make it 0.5, so it's set in the middle. I'm going to make the label look a little bit nicer, so I will go here, Font, Custom, and I will change it to Marker Felt, and make the font size slightly larger. I want the default text to say orange. Okay, so that's it. I'm done with the storyboard now. So next I'm going to create the IBOutlet connections. So I will go to the assistance editor. Let's close this. And it will bring up it brings up either the header or the implementation file. We want to go to the header file. And as the implementation file has been opened, I need to press Control, Command, and the up arrow to switch to the header file. So first I'm going to connect my label. I will click on the label, press the Control key, and drag to the header file. I will call it my label. Next, I'm going to connect my slider. So I click on the slider, I press the Control key, and I copy it over. Okay, so my slider. Done. So I can switch to the implementation file. I will press Control, Command, and the up arrow, and I'm in the implementation file. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to synthesize the properties. So my label and my slider. That will automatically create the setter and the getter for these properties, so I can go ahead and use them as they are. Next, I'm going to create the implementation for my slider. So every time the slider is moved, I want something to happen. So therefore, I need to write a method for the slider, so I need to make the connection for this action to happen. So as before, I click on the slider, I press Control, and I connect, and I drag it and connect it here. I'm going to call the method slide, and the type is UI slider, so connect. I'm going to have 3 if statements here because I want something to happen if it's less than a third. And then if it's greater than 0.3 and less than 0.7, I want something else to happen. And if it's greater than 0.7, I want something completely different. So if else if and else if. So if my slider dot value is less than 0.3, okay. Otherwise, if my slider dot value is greater than or equal to 0.3 and my slider dot value is less than 0.7, do something else. And else if my slider dot value is greater than or equal to 0.7, do something else. So if it's less than 0.3, I want the background color to be set to red. So I say self.view.background color equals UI color red color. Oh, it's UI image. UI color red color. Now self is the current code. Is the code executing, currently executing. So I want the self.view.background color to be red. So that's why I have this here. And I want the my label to say .text to say red. Now if it's greater than 0.3 or less than 0.7, I want the color of the view to be set to orange. And my label.text to be orange also. And if it's greater than 0.7 or equal to 0.7, I want the background color to be green. Green color. And my label.text equals green. So that's it, we're done here. We can go ahead and run our code and see what happens. It's loading, so we'll wait. And the initial value is middle and it's orange. When I slide to the left, it's red, orange, and then green. So here we have our little traffic light. If you like it, have a look at some of our other tutorials as well. Bye for now.